Hi, ladies. Welcome to today's broadcast, dating advice for women over 50 all week long. And today, specifically, I'm going to focus on online dating rules for women over 50. But you know what? Everything that I share really applies to all women, especially women online. So don't let that over 50 scare you. That is my ideal client because I'm in my 50s, but I know that the work that I teach is universal. And so for those of you who don't know me real quick, I'm Jaki Sabourin. I'm a love coach. And the work that I teach is inspired by my own journey to love, my own arduous journey to love, finding Michael, and the skills that I needed to learn along the way in order to empower myself so that I can attract a quality man. And so that's what I'm doing here, is coming back to help you attract a man who loves, cherishes, and adores you and treats you like the queen that you are. And so if you like the content and you're enjoying these video series, please subscribe to my channel. That way you will not miss an episode, and like my Facebook page. Thank you so much for doing that. Mwah. Okay, and so let's jump right in to talk about the online dating rules for women over 50. So this is just a guide to give you a little confidence, because I know if you're just starting online dating, or if you're just getting back out there after a dry spell, or if you're coming out of a divorce and you've had a broken heart, or if you maybe lost your husband, bless your heart, I know that's hard. It's really important that you know some general playing rules so that you can avoid the heartache and the frustration that can come from not really knowing how to play the game, so to speak. And so the most important thing is, I will start with this, is detaching from outcomes. Hi, ladies. Hi, my beautiful YouTubers. Love you, girls. And hi, Facebook. So glad you're here. Okay, so the most important thing is detaching from outcomes. You have to start this process if you're just starting out or if you're in the middle of it. Remember, detaching from outcomes is the most empowering thing you can do. So what does that mean, detaching from outcomes? So detaching from your need to know what the outcome's going to be, if he's going to call you back, if he's the one, if it's a waste of your time. It's like you don't really know what's going to happen. And when you attach, when you cling to a known, when you cling to your mind's should have, or this is what has to happen with rigid thinking, you lock yourself into a box, so to speak. You pretty much put yourself in a box and put the lid on it, because nothing can happen outside of that box. But online dating is so powerful, and it is such an amazing platform to meet your man. That's where I met Michael and a lot of other terrific men, because it's just what we're using now. It's an easy, efficient way to meet men right from the comfort of your home and your PJs. But if you do not learn to detach from the outcome, you will become very frustrated, disappointed, discouraged. And I don't want that for you. And so you don't really know what's going to happen. And that's why this can be so exciting. And that's why life is so magical and mysterious, is we don't really know what's going to happen. As soon as you partner with the unknown, you're going to be so much happier, because you relinquish the need, that neurotic need to control what's going to happen next. You cannot know what's going to happen. And so stay in the unknown, stay in the magic, and like wonder what's going to happen. The next guy you meet could be the one. You just don't know that. But when you attach to how things should unfold, or how they need to unfold, or how they have to unfold, you cling. And in that clinging, you miss out on all these opportunities over here, because you're clinging to this one idea that this man you thought you had a great connection with in a text is the one. And when he doesn't call you back, you fall apart, energetically speaking, or even emotionally. You get stuck in these emotional ruts, and they take you out for what, a week, 2 weeks, a month. And I don't want you to waste your precious time. That's why you have to skill up in this area, learning this. The most valuable tool that I teach in all my programs is the law of detachment. It is a universal law. When you remove your focus from something, it disintegrates. When you focus on something, it expands. So by the law of attraction, if you focus on why he hasn't called you, he's not going to call you, because you're so focused on what you don't have that you're essentially saying, bring me more of that. I don't want him to contact me. That's why it's so important that you get this through your noggin that you have to detach from the outcome. I would never be able to get this far in life if I was attached to outcomes. I mean, marketing, just let's look at that. Marketing, your online dating profile is a marketing tool that you're using to get yourself noticed. That's what I do with my videos and my emails, and they don't always connect, and I don't always make great videos. But if I was attached to them being perfect, I would never get anything done. Do you see what I'm saying? So attaching to an outcome is like perfectionism. It's not trusting yourself. It's not trusting that it's going to happen for you. It's going to unfold. You just have to release the your hands on the steering wheel, let go of control, and just allow it to unfold and stay in that receptive, receiving mode. So that's the most important thing that I could really, and I know I really overemphasize this because it's the most important thing. And that's how I have so much success in life and in love. And that's how you can have success, is by detaching from this neurotic need to know what's going to happen and step into the magic of the unlimited possibility of not knowing. Okay, so the second part of that is let's just talk about online dating. So you send an email, it starts with a contact, right? Either it's an instant message, it's a message you get on Bumble or on one of the dating sites like Match, and you're going to receive an email notification, or maybe you're online and you start interacting. The most important thing to remember is that it can take up to 24 hours to hear back from a man. Do not go into distress when you haven't heard from a guy in 3 or 4 hours. And here's why. Because statistically, on all the dating sites, because I researched this before the call, 94% of the responses from men and women come 24 hours after. So there's a little bit of a delay that you have to allow for. Life happens. You send a message and then you get busy, right? And then he's busy. He doesn't get the message, or even if he gets it, he can't reply because maybe he's with his family, he's at work, he's driving, whatever. It doesn't matter. You don't get to know. And so you have to allow for that. There's a lag time where he's going to get back to you. So don't be stressing over not hearing a man after 3 or 4 hours, and never double text anyone. Don't double send a message. Do not double text. Look at your phone and online. If you're the last one who sent the message, then it is not your turn to respond. You have to wait for him. Otherwise, you're chasing. And so after you hear back from him, what you want to do is create, the rule is 2 or 3 interactions back and forth online, where you're in your safety net still. He doesn't have your contact information, where you're establishing a fun, flirty rapport. This is not where you ask a lot of serious questions, or he's not going to be interested in talking to you. I mean, have you ever got a text that you're like, what am I supposed to do with that? Give him something interesting, funny, clever, witty. I have an ebook called Hook and Reel that I will make available to all of you. I'll give you a link so you can buy that ebook. It's really going to help you with your fun, flirty banter, what to say, when to say it. I think I give you 20 different things to say in the first connect, because I know those are the icebreakers and they're very important. So that's Hook and Reel, and I'm going to drop the link in the box below where you can get access to that. And so the first interaction is all about engaging, right? You have to engage a man to where he feels interested enough to want to talk to you. That's why it has to be fun and flirty. And so you want to keep it light and keep it like, just coming from asking him a really interesting question about whatever's going on in the world, or about something in his profile. My number one favorite thing, I'm going to let you on one of my secrets. It's in my Hook and Reel guide, but I'm going to give this to you because I want to help you. This is a really cute thing to say is, hey, what's a great man like you doing in a place like this? Or what's a great guy like you doing in a place like this? That is the number one fun, flirty icebreaker that you can send over and over and over. And they're going to respond. They're going to say, I could ask you the same thing. Or they could say, oh, thanks for the compliment. And maybe it'll fall flat, but who cares, right? That's a big word that I use. Who cares? That's a power word. Who cares? So I would try that. I would try that with every single interaction, because guess what? It works. And so once you get your icebreaker over and you get a little dialogue back and forth, the whole intention for that initial contact is to build rapport, some fun, flirty banter that's engaging. And then I want you to say, I think that we'd have a fun time talking on the phone. Here's my number. Why don't you give me a call? And that's it. That is the last time you send anything to him. You give him your number. Now, I know a lot of people advise you not to give out your number, but I'm not one of those people. I want you to save your time. You're being very direct for a reason. You don't have time to waste. This is the way you flush out a man who's just, maybe buying time. Maybe he's just chatting because there's nothing to do. Maybe he's not really that interested in you, but he's, enjoying the conversation. Maybe he's married. Who knows? It doesn't matter. The point is that you have to move it off the dating apps and onto your phone quick as possible. Now, having said that, I really recommend that you use a Google Voice phone number or something like that, a Skype phone number, whatever company you want to use, because that's going to put a buffer between you and your private information. They're not going to be able to Google you with that number. They're going to have to, they're going to either respond with their own number, or they're going to not respond at all. And then you didn't waste any time. There's your information. The reason why this is so important is because you're in an information gathering stage initially online. You can gather a lot of information about a man. So you're doing your research, you're vetting him. And that's why I don't want you to get emotionally attached. You don't even know him. He's a perfect stranger. Remember that. But it's great because there's millions of strangers to talk to, and one of them might turn into love. And so you're vetting him. So you're flushing him out by a little engagement back and forth. Then you're like, I feel like we would have fun, a fun conversation. What do you think? Question marks. You asking him, here's my number. I'm available tonight after 6 or tomorrow after 4. Give him your Google or Skype or whatever phone number you have, or maybe you have a burner phone. If you're worried about your safety, I highly recommend those. I used one. And then that's it. You're done. Move on to the next man. That's it. He'll either call you and respond and say, great, I'll call you tonight. And he may not even call you tonight. That's why stay detached, stay detached, stay detached. And then what happens is you're free to move along much faster. This strategy really works if you work it. And so another part about this rules, these online dating rules, is it's really important that you don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions about him, what he says, or who he is, because you don't know who he is. You don't know until you meet him. So after the chit chat back and forth 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4, depending on how fun the conversation's going. And I really recommend once you start that conversation, you keep it going. You have to keep the momentum going. Online dating moves really quickly. And if you're interacting with him, make sure you do it at a time where you have about 15 minutes to sit there and go back and forth, and then lob out your phone number. Because if you let any time fall in between that, you could lose that engagement period, and then it could fall away. And so once you get that, and he does call you, I highly recommend a phone call before you meet in person. There's so much you can pick up on a phone call: his voice, how his views on life, just by the way he talks about his family, his children, his job. You're going to pick up on his energy. You're screening him. He's screening you too, which is great. He doesn't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste his. That's why this whole process is so fascinating to me. So get on board, get excited, and create a routine for yourself so that you can be successful. And so don't make assumptions is a big part of that, because you might get him on the phone and wow, his voice may sound a whole lot better than the dry banter you had with him. And then flip that around, you may get on the phone and he may talk about his ex-wife for the whole 20 minutes. And you're like, I don't really think we're a fit. Bye-bye. Now, I want you to make sure that you vote with your feet and use your big girl words to say goodbye to a man if he's not a fit for you. And I know that takes a lot of courage. That's why I want you to have a little yellow sticky that you have on top of your computer when you're instant messaging with men that says, honor my knowing, trust my intuition. When I know he's not a fit, he's not a fit. Trust yourself, right? And so write a little phrase on a sticky pad and put it on your computer. So when you're talking to them, I want you to say something like, John, I really enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you for the phone call. I don't believe we're a fit, but I know you're going to meet somebody terrific. Have a wonderful evening. And then hang up. Sorry. Yes. Hang up on him. You do not need to hear his, why do you feel that way? You're not his mother. You don't owe him any explanation. You're a grown woman. Okay. Give yourself permission to get off the phone. And then just release that energy around it. Sometimes there's 2 power words I'm going to give you for online dating. It's a next, and that means that's the word next. Next is your power word. Okay, that's when you know you have to say, you're not a fit for me. and I'm not a fit for you. And so best of luck, and thanks for the 10 minutes. Bye-bye. And you hang up. And then you run around the house like, releasing all that energy that you just did that. So that's empowering yourself. Boundaries, ladies. And then the next word, and don't take this the wrong way, but you know me, I like to tell it like it is. Now, this is when somebody does something inappropriate on the phone. He's asked you to send a nude picture. He asks, wonder what you look like without your clothes on, or says something inappropriate. You don't have to say this to him, but I want you to think it. This is my big power word. It's flick off. I didn't write that right. It's called flick off. Flick. You flick them off. So in your mind, you can be like, flick off. He's a flick off. It's just a little empowering word that I like to use so that it's not too derogatory. It's not negative, but it's just your power word. Flick, F-L-I-C-K, flick off. So you're not using any profanity. You're keeping it clean, but I want you to not hesitate to flick off, guys, like in your mind, like flick off. Ooh, because don't take that personal. It's not about you unless you make it personal. If they're asking you for inappropriate pictures, comments, it's not about you, it's them. But if you get all emotional, upset, then you're just going into a storyline. You're making it about you. You're creating drama for yourself. So expect some of that to happen. I've had a man say, well, what would you do? I said, well, what would we do for our first date? And he said, oh, I'd have you over for dinner so we can hot tub. Well, that was a flick off, right? Flick off. And I was like, well, I don't think we're a fit. Thanks for the talk. Bye-bye. And I hung up. And I know he was really upset that I hung up on him, but that was a flick off, right? I don't want to sit in his jacuzzi. I mean, how inappropriate. So clearly he had something else in mind, and that happens. But I didn't make a story about it. I just moved on to the next guy. Don't take it personal. Okay, ladies, be yourself. That's another thing. All the other roles are taken. Be yourself. I'm myself on phone calls. What you see is what you get. With me, I'm being very direct and straightforward. But of course, I'm using I got a new feather. I got a feather pen. I'm going big on my feathers because now it's a great reminder. And so I'm giving these away at my retreat workshop in La Jolla. So I bought several to give us prizes. So if you're interested in getting together your man plan, ladies, where I can help you lay out a 3-month, 90-day plan that will help you to maximize and optimize your strategy so that you're really effective. So you're not wasting time, and you're also not wondering like, is what I'm doing connecting? Am I wasting my time? And answer all those questions that are rolling around in your head about what to do, when to do, and why to do it. I'm going to create a comprehensive plan, me and my team, and we're going to give you a beautiful workbook. We're going to work 2 days in a workshop setting here in California. And if you live in California, just drive down to La Jolla and stay one night. It's just a 2-day workshop, Saturday and Sunday, February 23rd and 24th. The link is in the box below. It's coming up in February. The year is just barely underway. There's still plenty of time. And believe me, you're going to be more effective at all of this when you come from a place of deliberation. You're being more deliberate and intentional in all you do. So I'd like to help you be more intentional. And that's what the workshop's for. So take a look at that. And so in closing, let's see. Oh, another little tip I want to give you about online dating is to check the social media channels for men that you're interested in. I mean, a lot of people are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. See if they have a YouTube channel, LinkedIn. Go and do a little research, okay? They're researching you. Go ahead and take their name and get their last name and go and look and see what they've got posted on their Facebook photos. They might have their wife and children there. And you want to know that. Or they might just post a bunch of things about politics or religion. That might be a turnoff for you. Or they might be just wonderful. Maybe they're posting a bunch of wonderful things and you're just like, wow, he looks like a great guy. I can't wait to meet him. And so go ahead and creep on his pages. I give you permission to do that. You're not being a creep. You're being a smart, savvy dater. And that's what you all are, smart and savvy. And you'll be more prepared for your dates when you do this. And the last thing I can say before I take questions is I'm just reading my notes here to see if I've covered everything. Be persistent, ladies. Be persistent. Never give up. You should be in contact with 10 sending out 10 notes, instant messages every Sunday night, and lining up 2 dates for the end of the week, or at least one. It's 4 dates a month. And within those 4 dates, you're going to learn a lot about yourself and get better at dating. So I hope these online dating rules helped you. And I just want to answer some questions here. Met him 2 days ago in the gym. Great. He initiated and approached me. Excellent. And he seems attached to an outcome that we will be together. And he seems nice and has lots that I require. How do I proceed from here? Well, what I would do if I met somebody at the gym and he's, we have a mutual connection, it's okay to say something like this. I'm heading over to get a cup of coffee. You want to join me? So you're not chasing him in that case. He's already approached you. Or you can say, oh, a bunch of my friends are going out tomorrow night. You should join us. Remember, I've said this before. You should join us. You're just giving him a loose invitation, letting him know where you'll be. Or I'm going to be sitting over at the coffee shop next door. If you want to stop by, love to get to know you. So you're just offering him like little friendship. And that's how you can let a man know that you're interested in talking with him. And then from there on that coffee time, or if he shows up, he still has to ask you out. And so how do you proceed? I mean, just ask him questions about himself and smile at him. When he comes into the gym next, smile and be like, hi, and go right up to him and start talking to him. Because, or wave at him and let him come to you, but he's already approached you. So I would recommend just being like, hi, how are you? And let him come over to you, or you can go up to him. How's your day going so far? So that's what you want to say. And then just stand there and smile. I mean, the smile is the invitation. They're receptive for him to ask you out. So let us know how that goes. Let's see. I'm going to take another question here. How do I know if he's the one? Met him online, dated for a month, became exclusive after we discussed exclusivity. So how do you know if he's the one? Well, how you don't know right away. I think that's making an assumption, but you're watching his behavior. You're looking to see if your lifestyles can be merged together. You're looking at if he's willing to, all of your criteria, open to having conversations, open to personal growth. There's going to be some awkward moments when you first get together. It's normal to have awkwardness in relationships when you first are exclusive. It's so normal, ladies. Just welcome the awkwardness. It's awkward when you don't know somebody and you're going to physical intimacy and you're meeting their family and their friends, and it's an awkward time for both of you. So just know that, just hang in there. And then as I really recommend that you schedule as many experiences together as possible, you'll have an opportunity to see how he handles situations. So beyond dinners and dating, it's like an overnight trip or camping or whatever that's relevant for you, of course, in your life. Experiences that give you a chance to see him in action. And that will give you insights into what it would look like to share your life with him. And so how do you know? You're gathering information, not until you get enough information about this man. And a month isn't enough time for him to reveal who he is. So remember, you're the prize. Don't be looking to see if he chooses you. It's up to you. You get to choose him. Is he going to love, adore, and cherish you? Are you training him on how you want to be treated by letting him know what makes you happy? You know what makes me really happy is flowers. I love flowers. I have hydrangeas here today, and I bought this. Unfortunately, they're wilting, ladies. Sorry about that. But I love flowers. And so, you know what? I wanted to see if my man would buy me flowers. It's really sweet to stop by Vaughn's and pick up a $9 bushel. They're $7.99. It's not a big expense. If he's not going to do that, well, it really makes me happy. I wonder what. And you might be wondering what the shoe is. I decided to share a fashion item or tip for you in each episode. So I'm going to wrap it up with, these are my closed-toed, low square-heeled pump that I'm wearing right now. And I really like this shoe. It's really comfortable, and it's going to last a long time. This brand I've had for years, and I love AGL. And so it goes great with, the lighter colors. I'm wearing a pink pair of pants today. And so this is my little shoe, and I wanted to share that with you. When you go shoe shopping, you could really wear this year round. Great for dresses, skirts, or slacks. Okay, and that's why that shoe's there. All right, ladies, feathers are a great reminder. That's right. Those feathers, I would encourage all of you to get a feather, either a pink one or a white one like I did, so that you have those in your environment so they can remind you to slow your roll, to take a breath, to stay in the now, where all your power is, to not allow yourself to get triggered by online dating. And what I really want to stress is that you never, ever, ever delete your profile out of a big trigger. That's about you. When somebody does something that triggers you that bad and you want to delete your profile, which I've done, so I'm speaking from experience, that's when you know this is about you and it's not about the man. I want you to hide your profile and take 3 or 4 days off and start to fill your own cup. Get some me time in, because that is an indicator that something deeper besides what he said has been triggered in you. It was stimulated by online dating experience, but it's sourcing from your past. And that's why you want to get really curious about that trigger. That's self-sabotaging. Do not delete your profile when you really want love in your life. That's just it's childish, done it, been there. It's emotional immaturity. It just tells you that you don't have the coping mechanism in place to handle your emotional triggers. So this new coping mechanism can be tools. One tool is to have your feather there so that it reminds you to be gentle with not only men but with yourself, and to step away from your computer when you feel triggered, and hide your profiles and take some me time to regroup, get back into alignment, get some perspective that time will give you, and then go back online. Okay, ladies? So I hope this was helpful. And I'm just sending you all so much love today and always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm engaged at NEA, so you never miss an episode, and like my Facebook page if you haven't done so, that you receive notifications and you become a part of my community, which is the bigger, broader reason that I'm asking for that. Because I want to teach all of you all the tools that I have learned and teach my clients so that you can get engaged at any age. I think it's possible. Love is everywhere and you are love. And so I really am excited about, women are sending me testimonials with pictures of themselves. Ladies, I invite you, please send me a picture of you and your sweetheart and a little note about maybe how you met or if I inspired you. That, not every day do I wake up feeling like, yay, I'm going to go make another video. Some days I get up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I can pull it together. And then I get an email from one of you and it's a picture of you and your man. I have to tell you, it just touches me so much. I'm going to cry right now. It touches me so much to see those, and it inspires me to keep going, because this is sometimes more challenging than you might think, to do this day in, day out. I'm very fulfilled by doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still a woman. I'm not perfect and I have my moments just like you do. I just have more tools to deal with them. So when I receive an email with pictures and a note from you, it just, it makes it all worthwhile. And I'm so grateful for that. It really carries me. So send those emails. You've got my email address, coachjaki@gmail. That's CoachJaki@gmail.com. Send me an email and I would just treasure that so much. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for being here. And I will go ahead and answer some more questions in the chat box. I usually do it within the first 24 hours of the broadcast. Okay, ladies, have a beautiful day. Tomorrow's topic is relationship advice if you're dating over 50. So those of you who are in a relationship, and even if you're not, you still need to be prepared with this information. Tomorrow's all about relationship advice. Okay, ladies, I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 12 noon Pacific and 3 Eastern, right here on YouTube and Facebook. Lots of love. Bye.